Welcome back to Chicago and Benzinga's Cannabis Capital Conference. Dan Leach here with you, and pleased to introduce Brett Schumann, a partner in Goodwin Law. We were talking, and there's a lot I want to get to you with here, but there really isn't anything you guys don't do, and you're a big part of the reason that Goodwin Law is one of the leaders in the entire world in the cannabis space.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you for having me, first of all. We're a big law firm, and so we have all the services that any industry,
right,
but especially the cannabis industry needs. For example, we have one of the leading fintech practices in the world, and obviously we have the Funcanas and Payrios and others here. So we bring all of those services to bear, in addition to having built a top-notch cannabis regulatory practice. So we do it all. We do capital raise, if that's still a thing in the cannabis industry, Dan. We've done it before. We have a couple of them right now, and we'll do them again. We do the biggest M&A deals in the space. Again, they're few and far between right now. We just did, it's been publicly announced, so I can talk about it, the Riv Capital Consortium deal. Yep. That was our deal. We work with our friends north of the border at the Castles firm on that. We do a lot of regulatory advice, which is, of course, a big part of what the cannabis industry needs. We represent the investors who one day will start investing in this industry again. We do it all. We're also litigators, and I'm an IP litigator, so we've worked on the biggest litigation cases in the cannabis space, trademark infringement cases, nasty, non-cannabis company versus cannabis operator in federal court.
Those are never fun.
Not fun, but we've gotten some good results. We do it all in this space. We were reportedly the first big law firm, like AmLaw, top 50 law firm, to actually have an established cannabis practice. Of course, we have lots of company now, and we welcome that. We really do.
Sure. As
the industry matures, the industry needs more good lawyers. We're not afraid of the competition. We have a first mover advantage, though. Well,
listen, to give you, I'm not saying it's just you, but to give you personally credit, you did push a big boulder up a hill to get certain things done. You had a lot of foresight going back to, different states, legalization, all that kind of stuff. When you look at where we're at now, we've got a big election coming up. We've got proposals in Florida. It seems like there's this just kind of sweet spot and moment where things could really move forward. Can I get you a little foresight on that? Because you already seem to have prognosticated everything.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, Dan. I'm a lawyer, not a political commentator, but I guess we all have to wear multiple hats. Heard a lot of talk around this conference. I've attended a lot of panels. People I respect a lot talking about safe banking, talking about rescheduling. I will try to attend the hearing in December. I think that's a very important hearing. I think there's a lot of things floating around out there right now, and I think there's reason for optimism. And I think all of us in this industry want to find reasons for optimism. There's no Debbie Downers around here. Even though things are slow, things are tough going for a lot of people. Personally, I think rescheduling is what we should be keeping our eye on. Safe banking, it's passed 5 times in the House,
right.
And I'm not holding my breath personally either for that to happen or for it to make as significant of an impact on our clients and on the industry as rescheduling. Get rid of 280E among the many impacts of rescheduling. Get rid of 280E, and I won't say who, but I've talked specifically to investors. Will you deploy fresh capital if rescheduling happens? Yes. Companies will be able to turn a profit. VCs will be able to make their exit.
Right.
That is what will bring about change. And I'm cautiously optimistic that will happen in December, if not, early 2025.
No, I think that's the way you got to play it. I mean, obviously, hope doesn't get things done, but it's a great thing to have. When you are talking to people right now that are maybe skeptical, that there's not any Debbie Downers here, but there are some around. What would you say to them? Because obviously you've got incredible experience. And like I said, I'm not going to make you be a soothsayer, but when it comes to people that maybe are a little skeptical, what do you say to them now?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Whether Florida legalizes adult use or not, you want my view on that?
Always.
I would predict that it will pass, and I also would predict that Governor DeSantis will torpedo it.
Yeah.
Right? And so everybody can read the polls and figure out whether it will pass. What I think people really need to pay attention to is if it passes, then it falls on Governor DeSantis' lap, who's obviously actively campaigning against it, to appoint regulators and get that market up and running. And I think that's where the rubber will really hit the road. So I'm not necessarily an optimist on Florida, but with 24 states with adult use, and there are other states in play like Pennsylvania, and there is such incredible demand for this great product, this plant, it is inevitable. I look at it like every time a state legalizes, that's 2 more senators in the Senate that we need to pass, whether it's safe banking or other reform. And we'll get another state, maybe Pennsylvania, maybe North or South Dakota, maybe Florida, and then maybe you have the senators, but you're not going to have Governor DeSantis ever. He's pot committed, pun intended.
Yes,
against
double
this.
pot committed.
Double pot committed. But I think that the reason why I am such an optimist is because each time another state legalizes, it's because there's incredible demand for the product. Talk to the people in the alcohol industry. You should have somebody in the alcohol industry up here, and they'll give you the real scoop. They're worried about this industry.
Super worried.
And that's what we should be optimistic about.
Well, Brett Schumann, you are a leader in so many different ways. It's been a pleasure talking to you, partner in the Goodwin Law Firm, and I feel like we got some pretty big times ahead, my friend.
Thanks so much, Dan. Love talking to you.
Pleasure's
Do it again.
all mine.